There we go. There we go. Been dealing with a sick kid in the house, Matt, all week.
Yeah, I just saw, so I don't get on Facebook too much. I just saw earlier today that he had been sick, and then while I was waiting just now, I'm sorry to hear that, bud.
Yeah.
How's the little man doing right now?
Not so hot. So it started Sunday. He woke up with a fever, and my wife gave him some Motrin or something like around noon, between noon and 1, and he took it fine, no problem. Well, then afternoon came, and it was getting time to read. It was just closer to 5 because he was sleeping a lot, and it was like, we need to take more medicine, and he was refusing. And at that point, through the ear thermometer, it was saying he was like up at like 105.
Yeah.
And it's like, we're like, if you don't take your medicine, we're got to take you into the doctor. And he refused, so it's like, all right. So we ended up taking him to the ER on Sunday night.
Uh,
So, and then, he took his medicine there, of course. And, because they gave him a popsicle. And, so,
what, no popsicles in the Bourdine house? What
well,
are we doing here?
yeah. Well, we made sure we got some after that. So they tested him, and they called back actually that night while she was putting him to bed that he had tested for influenza A. So, so we kept him home Monday, Tuesday, from daycare. Tuesday he started feeling better, and then yesterday he was really feeling more like himself. So we're like, okay, send him it. We'll send him to daycare today, and he was fine. Like, even when I picked him up this evening, he was fine. I'm like, what do you want for dinner? And he's like, milk and cookies. I'm like,
Like, me
well,
too, kid, but
yeah. And I'm like, how about I go, you want a cheeseburger? He's like, yeah, and a milkshake. I'm like, perfect. So got him a Happy Meal and that, and he ate like half his burger and all his apple slices and some fries and started drinking a shake, and then all of a sudden it just like hit again. It
ugh,
started going downhill again. I'm like, ugh.
brutal.
Come sit with me, daddy.
Man.
I'm like, okay, give me a second. I'm trying to make dinner for your mother and I, and yeah, so yeah. Luckily, I get tomorrow's the day I'm home with him anyway, so I get to coddle him and all that kind of good kind of stuff tomorrow.
Yeah, keep an eye on him and make
Yeah,
sure he's still bouncing back. Sometimes they do that where they come
yeah.
back and then they take a dip, and that's too bad, man. I'm sorry to hear
He
that.
starts soccer next week.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah, first practice is Tuesday, and the first game is next Saturday. So
Have fun with that.
yeah, it's only 5 weeks.
Did you at least get like mid morning games, or did you got like the 8 o'clock?
They vary. The first one's
That
like
was
9:45.
ugh, yeah. That's what was kind of our breaking point. Is like tired of getting up at 6:30, 7 o'clock on a Saturday to go watch 12 kids gather in a pile and kick a ball between themselves.
Right. Well, luckily, like the park or the field is like right across the street, pretty much, basically. So
Well, yeah, but it's still a
right.
waking up and
Sure.
getting them around, and
Sure.
yeah,
Sure. But so yeah, that's my life this week.
been a fun week.
Yeah. I can't believe it's been 2 weeks already since WrestleMania. I'm like, 2 weeks ago today I was getting on a plane, and now it's like, oh, okay.
Yep, that's real life. That'll sober you up real quick from that vacation high.
Yeah, no kidding, no kidding. It's been an eventful week. Well, first, how are you? How are you? Sorry.
Oh, I'm lovely, sir. I'm here, ready to talk.
Awesome, awesome. Well, it was a eventful week in wrestling. Um, So let's get into it. And as I get everything going, why don't you leave a thumbs up on the video here and click the subscribe button and the little bell thing so it notifies you whenever I post these. So last week's got posted a day late because I went pretty much the whole day on Friday without power. So
yeah, I heard about that too. It's been a fun time around your neck of the woods.
You know what? It's been eventful. That's for sure. But yeah. So after we talked on Thursday, SmackDown was Friday. I was really bummed because had my power not gone out, I probably would have went when I saw that they released all those new tickets in the afternoon that were like $25. But with me not knowing when my power was going to be restored and all that kind of stuff, I'm like, probably shouldn't. So, and then by the time power came back on, they were gone and back up on resale already. So,
yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, the good news is it was a decent episode, but it wasn't like anything mind blowing either.
No, but there's some things like boy, I'm going to take a quick little victory lap. I've been saying for a year that had Roman lost last year, they could have pretty much done everything they did with the Bloodline after WrestleMania last year, and it still would have been okay. And it probably would have been even more interesting. And by God, he loses the title, and what happens to Bloodline got even more interesting. They kicked Jimmy out. Tama Tonga's in. Let's go. It was a good little segment.
It was surprising. I'll say that much. I liked once again everything Heyman does is gold. Heyman's the one that made the segment for me.
Sure.
But the hard part in this day and age is it had kind of gotten out there ahead of time that Tama was going to be there. So it was like, well, when I saw that starting, I'm like, oh, well, this is,
See, I still wasn't 100% he was going to be doing Bloodline stuff. I still thought there might have been a chance that he could have been a new heater for AJ. He came in and helped AJ win which AJ won his triple threat anyway, but yeah. But yeah, he's in the Bloodline, and Heyman tried to call Roman Reigns, and Solo snatched the phone and stomped on it, and it seems like he's taken over the mantle of acting tribal chief.
Sure.
So
the reason I'm so subdued about this is it's pretty clear that Roman isn't going to be around for a while.
Sure.
So I'm not really looking forward to 6-8 months of dragging this out till we get to the action, because as you've said, they've been dragging this out for over a year already. We should have been at this point last year at some point, maybe not right after Mania, but I don't know. I'm also not looking forward to like Jimmy and Jay reuniting right after they just broke up like 6 months ago, or what would it be at this point? 7-8 months, like, because that's next on the list,
right? But see, that's why I think it's good that you potentially have this extended period of time. That and we don't know, the draft's next week, so we don't know where everyone's going to end up. But let's assume that like Jimmy and Jay get put on the same show, and this new Bloodline get put on a different show or something like that. You can, let's say, Bloodline stays on SmackDown, Jimmy and Jay end up on Raw together. While this new Bloodline is kind of wrecking things over on SmackDown, you can tell because that's my biggest fear about this whole thing. I eventually want us to get to a point where we get, and I texted you right after, we get this new Bloodline with Solo and Tama and probably Jacob Fatu, and then maybe The Rock, depending on his schedule, versus Roman, the Usos, and then you could throw the honorary Us in there. You could you could find them a fourth member, and you do, ideally, I would think War Games would be cool. But to get to that point, you got to you got to get the Usos back together. But you can't, as haphazardly as they broke them up at SummerSlam, last summer around SummerSlam, you have to do the exact opposite and take extra care in how you get them back together. You can't just have Jimmy show up and be like, "My bad, Us, I was wildin', sorry," and Jay go, "It's all right, down since day one," and then they go on their merry way together. Like you've gotta, like you did with Jay when he moved over to Raw, he had to build up, and there were still people like Drew McIntyre who still wouldn't trust him or forgive him, but most everyone else, he worked and got to a point where people accepted him as not part of the bloodline. So you got to kind of do the same thing with Jimmy now.
Yeah, and then it's gonna feel an awful lot like Sammy and KO from last year. I don't know. I just wake me up when Roman's back, because that's when I'm gonna want to be interested.
Sure, I can see that. Also, they had a couple triple threat matches, and the winner of those will meet tomorrow to see who Cody's first challenger is. LA Knight won the first triple threat, and AJ Styles won the second. The second rope Styles clash onto Kevin Owens was just.
That was the thing to beat it. That match was really good too.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm no Rey Mysterio fan, but he in the right spots, he's still amazing to watch, and that was a really good match.
Yeah. So we got the LA Knight versus AJ Styles rematch tomorrow. And the winner goes.
I thought Vince McMahon was out of this company. I thought we weren't doing pay-per-view rematches 2 weeks later.
Well, see, but they built it in a story. They won their tournament matches. So.
Okay.
I'm guessing AJ wins, both because I think him.
It better be.
He gets his win back from LA Knight, and I think him and Cody, A, would be the better match, and B, it just makes more sense. I don't think you want to pit two your top tier baby faces up against each other and make the crowd split like that. So.
Well, and they can also lean into the similarities and the history of the two of them.
Right. Well, Cody already mentioned it, in his promo that like him and AJ are two of the only people who have won the NWA and the WWE titles. So.
Well, and not just that, but like
the Bullet Club.
When they left their respective companies and joined Bullet Club, who were they aligned with? Who was kind of in the thick of everything? Like Cody kind of followed AJ's path actually to get to WWE. So there's just another thing he copied from. Anyway, I think that's going to be the match, and I'm really looking forward to that as the title match. I think that's a great first opponent for Cody.
Yeah. He did kind of just slide right into AJ's spot when AJ came over. No, it was. No, I mean, kind of, because it was a little while after he left WWE before he actually. It wasn't until like early that following year.
Kenny Omega took AJ's spot. They literally kicked AJ out, and Kenny took.
I just meant for this, like Kenny was already in Bullet Club, so he just moved into the role of leader. I meant the actual open spot, but yeah. Anyways.
Also, Kenny wasn't the leader, but whatever.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Ooh. All right, Bullet Club historian Matt Durr.
I want that tag on my little nameplate next week.
Okay, I can do that. Other than that, I don't think there was a whole lot. We got Bayley and Naomi tomorrow on SmackDown for the title. Maybe some Tiffany Stratton shenanigans in there. Yeah, and it really seems like they're gonna start pushing Bianca and Jade as a tag team too. So
right, which when that inevitably splits will be be great either way they go with it.
Yep. So, over on Raw, unfortunately, we opened the show with Rhea Ripley having to relinquish her women's world title because she injured her shoulder and is going to be out for quite some time, it sounds like.
Yeah, I really hate that decision. I don't care. From what I read, they said like 4 months, something like that. I'd let her hold on to the title, even if it's 6 months. Like, you have another women's title already. Like, to me, it gets. I'm tired of watching title reigns, and not just in WWE, but in other, you know, in AEW, where it's like so and so got hurt, we gotta have a tournament, or so and so got hurt, we're naming an interim champion. Like, I would have found a way to keep her involved in the TV for a few weeks, and everyone knows she's hurt. Hey, she's not going to be defending the title for a little while, and then maybe they get 3 months into it, and then you relinquish it. I feel like just having her drop the belt right now for no reason. Well, not for no reason, but having her drop the belt right now like that, just I don't know. It was disappointing, and I'm getting tired of seeing that stuff on TV.
Sure. I'm guessing it's going to be longer than 4 months if they had her drop it. That's just my read on it. And I think getting her off TV is going to be a good thing. I think when she comes back, this is going to be like Triple H 2002 when she makes her comeback. She's going to get that kind of reaction.
Yeah, and that's fine. She was heading that way anyway. I mean, she's one of the 2 or 3, in my opinion, most popular stars on the. And I'm not saying this just to say, with Punk being back, maybe she's top 5.
Right.
But like, she's a major part of that show.
Definitely.
And I don't. Maybe the time off will get her for the bigger pop, but I feel like setting the tone as like a 500-day champion would have done a lot for her mystique and stuff like that.
Sure. She was able to set the record though by a day, but she said it. So
yeah.
I'm surprised. So they're crowning a champion on Raw next week. I'm surprised they're doing it so soon. I thought maybe they'd drag it out till the pay-per-view, but and they haven't really announced how. So I don't know if
it's a new era. You got to tune in to find out what's happening, Chris.
Hey, I'm for it. It's got to either be Liv or Nia, I think.
Yeah, that's neither one of those are good options in my book.
I definitely think by the time Rhea comes back, Liv should have the title, and that way Rhea can come for it. So whether that's she wins it now and holds on to it then, or you put it on someone else for now and she wins it later, like I think she was gonna do anyway, but yeah, I think those are the maybe Becky's working the UK tour this week, so maybe she comes back and wins it. But if I had to give my guess, I would say either Liv or Nia, because you know what, I really wouldn't be opposed to Nia having a short little run with it. She's been really good since she came back. So
okay, you say so.
I do say so. Speaking of belts, we got new tag team titles.
Yeah. I knew there was something I didn't like about him when I saw him.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know if you saw the meme where they compared it to like a Ferrero Rocher chocolate.
No, but that's.
And I was
funny.
I'm like, that's it. That's what it is. It just looks like crumpled foil. I don't like it. I really hate, and I know it's not going away. I hate the giant logo.
See, but it's not that giant on these ones. It's not that big.
It, yeah.
Yeah, I should know.
I don't know. I don't like it. I really don't like these belts with the humongous with the W right in the center of it. It just I don't know. They're all bland to me once you do that.
See, I like them. I think they're a massive upgrade from what they had. Uh, the I like the shape. I like how they're more rounded. But not like the ones they had were round, but they were just I don't know. Those ones look cheap. These ones don't look cheap. They look nice.
They're gaudy, and not in a good way.
That's what wrestling belts are now, though.
Well, it doesn't mean I have to like it.
Sure,
It doesn't mean it.
sure. I'm just saying, like comparatively, like I don't think they're that gaudy, and I'm interested to see. I'm hoping that tomorrow we get the new what I assume would be called the WWE Tag Team titles and what they look like. But
I saw a leak. It wasn't much better.
yeah,
But who knows if it's an actual leak?
yeah.
WWE didn't have a fancy social media video ready in case someone leaked their big debut. But we'll get there.
We'll get there. We will get there.
That's what I'm most excited to talk about.
I know. That's why I'm kind of blowing through the rest of this stuff. Also, the Raw was main evented by Sami Zayn and Chad Gable, and they did. Everyone else has talked about the great camera work on the Jey Uso exit and the Sami Zayn entrance. So I won't waste too much on time on that because everyone else has already said it. Like it was pretty sweet. And they hell of a match, obviously, and they really, Triple H did it to me again. I thought, oh, they're not going to do the turn. And then Sammy's over there hugging his wife, and out of nowhere comes Gable and grabs him by the waist and suplexes him right in front of his wife. And I'm like, oh, okay, you did do it. Sweet.
Yeah, I guess where does this go, right?
Mm-hmm.
It leads to an inevitable rematch where either Gable loses again,
mm-hmm.
or we ended Gunther's 666-day reign to have a transitional champion drop the belt 6 weeks later. I would have preferred Gable turns before he's already lost to Zayn once.
Yeah.
Because if Sammy beats him, how many times it takes the credibility away from Chad Gable because it'd be 4 Intercontinental title matches in a row where he didn't get the job done, right?
Correct.
Because it was Gunther twice, and then obviously this. So I don't know. I feel like they kind of booked themselves into a bad spot here. I wasn't a fan of Gunther dropping the belt to Sammy in the first place. So if Sammy loses, it's just like, man, that's. I don't know. You spent almost 2 years building up that reign, and yeah, you got a great pop at Mania for it, but what did that, then what?
But doesn't that make Gunther's reign look even better? If the guy who beats him then right after, not long after loses that himself? Because I kind of think it does.
Arguments I don't, because what is the whole point of having someone go on a lengthy run like that with the belt, right? So that the person that beats him, it means more for that person, right? So this is supposed to be like Sami Zayn's big moment, right? If he loses, then we're right back at Sami couldn't get it done again. So we're just repeating the cycle. And while you're repeating the story, you've taken away a major part of it where Gunther's loss could have meant something big to somebody else then. Because Sammy was already a top, like, I would argue Sammy's a top guy. So,
Sure.
like, him beating Gunther wasn't really that big of a deal unless you were going to have him go on, like, a John Cena-esque run, late stage career, use it to introduce new talent. Then it could be something really cool. But if this is where it's going, I'm like, yeah, I don't think both of them, one of them is going to come out of this thing not looking the greatest. And it's not going to help both of them. It's only going to help one of them.
We'll see. I don't think there was much else from Raw. Cody kind of sort of said goodbye to Raw.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Like I said,
he's still on his acceptance speech tour, so
well,
maybe he'll be back next week with another promo.
Probably. I'm sure he'll be tomorrow. He'll have one. So, though I don't know. Maybe I don't know when that tour finishes up. Maybe he might not be on SmackDown tomorrow. I don't remember. I can't remember from when he tweets out his schedule.
Oh, I thought you would have like saved that to your phone and put it in your actual calendar.
No, I just.
So that's what you Cody Crybabies did.
No, I just saw that he was at the Detroit show last week, and I got excited, but then I didn't end up going. So, still massively popular in the UK. That I know that much. I've seen some videos.
Excellent, good for him.
Yeah. Out of the ring, they replaced their head of talent relations because apparently he wasn't talking to all these pending free agents. Like, I guess he just approached Drew like last month about re-signing. And they're like, you do know that we're gonna have him win the world title, and he's in a feud with CM Punk, and we're about to announce this pay-per-view in Scotland, right?
So, that's some pretty bad work.
Yeah. So he gone, and now so because yeah, it's been weird that all these, so obviously Drew and Seth and Becky, but like Finn's due this year as well, and there's a couple others, not quite as big as those four, but
I thought I saw where Owens was up this year.
Yeah, I think he might be up later in the year.
Because he also made that comment about if I've got another WrestleMania in me, I want it to be against Finn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, I think he is up later in the year, but I think Sheamus is supposed to be up too, but with how long he was out injured, that that probably got some time added on to it. The Lobster Head song came back. We didn't talk about that, so everyone was real happy about that.
It's probably a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's it in WWE land, unless you had anything else.
No, can't say I do.
Okay. Well, AEW Dynasty is on Sunday.
Cool.
Yeah.
I heard they added a big match to the pay-per-view last night. It's a young upstart against a veteran who's really gonna show this kid the ropes.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna go through the card here, and then we'll see. Just real quick. On the 0 hour, we have a title for title. The trio AEW Trios champions, the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass, versus the ROH 6-man tag titles, the Bullet Club Gold. Winner take all.
Remember when the Acclaimed were like the hottest act in AEW?
I do.
And then they just stopped doing stuff with them.
I do.
And remember when Jay White was the hot free agent coming in from New Japan?
I do.
That was like a year ago. And now these guys are wrestling on the pre-show.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Who cares?
Yeah.
I hope it's the Acclaimed so that Bullet Club Gold can go do something different, but
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They were on the Punk show, so they're bad people.
Yeah, I can't stop thinking about what if WWE didn't have a hiring freeze when Jay White was a free agent. Because yeah, he hasn't really done much. He had the feud with Max, and that's about it.
Dude, he is just another in a long line of like, can you imagine what this guy's going to be able to do now that he's in AEW and he's going to be on the world stage? Malachi Black, Andrade, who is now back having big matches on worldwide television. Funny how that happened.
Right. On the actual pay-per-view, another trios match. We have Adam Copeland, Eddie Kingston, and Mark Briscoe versus the House of Black, the aforementioned House of Black.
This is one of those. This is what I love about pro wrestling matches, right?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Awesome.
I don't know if you've heard, but AEW is where the best wrestle, Matt.
Yeah, I did. I heard that somewhere. I did.
Look at the adjective wrestle.
Yeah,
that
right.
Actually.
I just like the last pay-per-view, Eddie Kingston wins his brand new triple world title.
That was a couple pay-per-views ago, but yeah, I get your
whatever. Point. Gaga bullshit belt, and then 3 months later, he's wrestling in a bullshit 6-man. He doesn't have his title anymore. Like, and he's got a team with a 50-year-old man who's just praying his back holds up so he can get one more run this time. Like, okay, cool. Give me Edge for the win.
Okay.
Because he loves professional wrestling.
He sure does. I'll say House of Black. This must be the.
Did we never went over our WrestleMania standings either. You owe me that because I think I only got one match wrong all weekend.
Yeah, I know. I was looking at that. We're gonna have to. We're gonna pull that up after we go through this, and we'll tally the points and see who won.
Okay.
But anyways, for the FTW Championship, we have the champion Hook taking on Chris Jericho in an FTW rules match.
Taz turns on Hook, gives the belt to Jericho. Jericho firmly cements himself as a new heel.
Perfect. Sounds good to me. The AEW International Championship. The champion Roderick Strong defending against Kyle O'Reilly.
Jesus Christ.
This will actually be a good match, but yeah.
Will it?
I think so.
You know what? Actually, no. It will. I'm being sarcastic. Those two are gonna have a really good match. I think.
I'm gonna go with Cole Kyle here.
Yeah, I was gonna go Roderick. When the whatever Kingdom era, they're gonna screw Kyle, and because Cole's not around, they're gonna get their signals crossed.
Yeah,
that's what I'm going with.
The TBS Championship, Julia Hart defends against Willow Nightingale in a house rules match.
Mercedes Moné shows up and runs over Julia Hart with a Mercedes Benz, and Willow gets the belt because Julia Hart's actually hurt, and they got to get the title off her.
I do think Willow's going to win to set up the Willow Mercedes match at Double or Nothing.
Yep.
So, is every match on this show title match? No. 2 of them are not title matches.
If only we had a show called Battle of the Belts. where we actually defended a championship instead of not having that single goddamn title defended on the show called Battle of the Belts.
Again, you're thinking too logical.
Who gives a shit about details like that? Roll the damn footage. Right. Look at this monster.
AEW Continental Championship. Kazuchika Okada versus Pac.
It ends up being Okada versus Penta because Pac gets stranded in London because they forgot to arrange for him to get a ride to the airport, and his visa has been canceled again. Okada wins.
Okay. I mean, yeah. I don't know. Pac was on Dynamite last night, so I would hope that he would just stay the extra few days in the States, so they didn't run into that issue. But maybe not. For the vacant AEW Tag Team Championships in a ladder match, we have the Young Bucks versus FTR.
This is really a battle of who loves pro wrestling more.
That's right.
Who loves tag team professional wrestling more?
Exactly.
I don't know if you know this, but this is how Dax feeds his family.
Yes, I've been told.
Okay.
I've been told. I'm gonna say the Young Bucks win due to interference from Jack Perry.
Sure.
The scapegoat.
But let's hope there's a Joey Mercury moment. That's all I'm asking for.
Jesus. For the AEW Women's World Championship, Timeless Toni Storm defends against Thunder Rosa.
They'd be absolutely insane to take the belt off of Toni Storm here and give it to Thunder Rosa. So I'm going to go with Thunder Rosa to pick up the victory here.
Fair. All right. This is basically, I mean, look, I'm not as out on AEW as you are at this moment, but I'm definitely not looking to drop 50 on this pay-per-view. But if they were showing it at the movie theaters again, I would go just for this match. Will Ospreay versus Bryan Danielson.
It'll be a hell of a match.
Yes, it will. And Will Ospreay will win.
And Will Ospreay will win because Bryan doesn't win big matches.
He doesn't want to.
Which is great, but then what are we doing? There's no intrigue.
Right? No,
What good is the Bryan Danielson rub if every ham and egger gets the rub? Like, okay.
And then finally, for the AEW World Championship, Samoa Joe defends against Swerve Strickland.
I see this. To me, this is a lose-lose. This should be Swerve's moment.
Should be.
But if Double or Nothing doesn't end with Will Ospreay as the world champion, they're out of their goddamn minds. I've said that weeks ago. Like, you got to give that guy your top spot. Him and Okada, and you already gave Okada one of your belts, are the two big names you brought in that this North American audience isn't as familiar with. Obviously, the AEW audience is, but not everybody who watches over here knows who these guys are. Ospreay has caught fire. If your next pay-per-view isn't ending with him as champion, I think it's a huge mistake. Which means Swerve either has to take the L here or he's got to take the L next month. And I don't think that's great because that dude has done nothing but work his ass off. And he's been fantastic for a long time. But I don't think he's going to be as good for them as Ospreay is or would be as champ.
Yeah, I think Swerve wins because that's the right decision. I don't think Ospreay, if Ospreay wins the title, it won't be till Wembley. It looks like he's going to be spending at least part of the time post Dynasty getting out of the Don Callis family. Because technically, he's still part of the Don Callis family, even though he's been super babyface and they are super heels. But yeah, because he wrestled Claudio last night, and afterwards the rest of the Don Callis family attacked, and Will was not happy about it. So
awesome.
So yeah, he'll have to. Well, he already wrestled 2 of them. He wrestled Takeshita at the last pay-per-view. He wrestled Fletcher the night, like the week after.
It was the next Wednesday, wasn't it?
That's what I'm saying. So I guess Will Hobbs, or they make him run some sort of stupid gauntlet. I don't know, but yeah, I don't think Ospreay's in the world title match at Double or Nothing.
Which I just think that's a terrible idea. But okay, yeah, I mean, I get it. Save it for Wembley. Maybe they'll actually get across the 60,000 ticket sales if they make it painfully obvious that Ospreay's going to win the title there.
Maybe. All right, let me pull this up.
Do you think this is the show where MJF comes back?
No, I don't think he comes back till Forbidden Door, because that's in Long Island.
Okay.
All right, so let me pull out my calculator here. So I had, for 1 point, I had Awesome Truth winning the tag team titles, which they did. And I had Final Testament winning. They did not. At 2. At 3, I had Ray and Dragon Lee win, which they did. I had Kevin Owens winning, which he did not. At 4. At 5, I had Sami Zayn winning, which he did. At 6, I had Cody Rhodes winning, which he did. 7, I had LA Knight win, and he did. 8, I had Bayley win. 9, I had Jey Uso win. 10, I had Rhea Ripley win. 11, I had Drew win. 12, I had Rocket Roman win. And 13, I had Jade, Bianca, Naomi. So grand total of 85.
Woohoo!
We remember that. You had, at 1 point, you had Awesome Truth and A-Town Down Under. I'm going to give you 2 points for that.
Well, look at that.
You had Roman Reigns at 2. He did not win.
He did not win.
You had Drew McIntyre at 3. He did win. You had the Pride at 4. You had Santos and Dirty Dom at 5.
Oh, no.
You had Gunther at 6.
Oh.
You had Jey Uso at 7. So we're back. You had Logan Paul at 8.
That's the winner.
You had LA Knight at 9. You had Jade, Bianca, Naomi. You had Bayley. You had Rhea. And you had Rock and Roman. Ooh, 79.
What?
Yeah.
I think your math is off there, sir.
How was my math off?
See now. Anyway, you can move on.
Math is math. Like, addition is addition. Like,
I feel like you missed the number there is what I'm getting at.
I did not.
Maybe not. Maybe not. I feel like you cheated.
I did not. You 5 and so you're 5 and 6. Did not. You had more on the lower point totals, but you had 5 and 6 as a You lost 11 points right there because you had Santos and Dirty Dom and Gunther, and I had Sami Zayn and Cody in those slots.
Gotcha.
So, yeah. So there's that. I win. Woohoo! That never happens.
Congratulations.
Thanks. All right. Let's get to it. We have not text other than when the leaks first came out this morning. We have not talked about this. The Detroit.
Those uniforms are amazing.
Yes.
They killed it. They killed it. Like, I cannot wait to buy a hand stitched like knockoff one. I can't wait.
Knockoff one. I'm a 9.5 out of 10 is what I'm giving them, and the only reason why I'm shaving
the pants,
the gray pant, the silver pants, awesome, but the blue, the black, the white, like, why are there no stripes? I hate
just one. Just give me one down the leg.
That's what I'm saying. Like, the blue pants should have they should have both. The blue pants should have the wide white stripe with 2 gray stripes on either side.
I just mean give me one type of stripe down the legs. Like, I don't care how they want to do it. Just something that isn't solid color.
Yeah.
That's all I'm asking.
And and I've never liked the white pants anyhow, but if they'd be a little bit more tolerable if they had the stripe on them. But
sure,
minor, like I said, those are minor. Everything else they knocked out of the park.
I thought I was gonna hate the black uniforms because I hated them the first time. Nope, they nailed that too. The white lettering, oh, money, and the blue on the uniform. They killed it with this. And then the helmet, the new helmet.
That helmet is sexy.
Like, it is incredible.
I'm obsessed with, like, I thought the blue helmet they wore last year was cool. This is like,
it looks so badass.
Like, my lock screen on my phone is already like the blue with the black logo on it. Like,
nasty. I cannot wait for Madden just to rock all the different uniform combos.
Do you hear what Megatron said at the
he wants to make them their home uniform. Which I love you, Megatron. They're absolutely fire. But what they did with the new home, the throwback with the 1990s look, the white numbers,
the white numbers with the holes in the, like,
yes,
blue face mask,
blue face mask, so killer. You're shaky.
I am. I was so happy
when I saw the leak of Amon-Ra, but of the 3, and just seeing the blue with the white lettering. I was like, oh my God, they did it. They nailed this. And then to see it all come together was like, man, the coolest uniforms in football.
Yeah. And I love how each one in the back of the collar has the different, the blue homes say One Pride.
313. I thought that was the 313.
No, the 313 is the away jerseys.
Okay.
And then the black ones say Motor City in it. But,
awesome.
Yeah. No.
Did you see the blue helmet on the black uniform?
Yeah, that's when they're wearing them. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if you saw the.
Oh yeah.
That. Okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, that's when they're wearing those blue helmets is with the black unis.
With the all black, yeah.
Or so either all black or the black jerseys with the blue pants, which is also a nice combo. I don't know if you saw that or not, but
I did not see that.
Yes, there's a couple.
I didn't see if this was official, but someone tweeted out it couldn't be that they had the Jordan 1s and the black and blue.
No. Hutch in the photos was wearing black and white Jordan 1s, but yeah, that's all I know as far as that goes. I did so obviously Ben Raven was there at the event, and he was tweeting about it, and I asked, okay, what's the status of the blueberries? And he said blue on blue was still in play. So, because I haven't that's the one combination I haven't seen anything like in the promotional photos.
Yeah, and as we know, all blues don't lose.
Exactly.
So
exactly, gotta have those. But yeah, no, they knocked it out of the park.
And the reason I keep saying like I want to buy a knockoff version is I want to buy one of the ones with the stitched on letters and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
They don't sell those through the Detroit Lions shop because they still try to push those janky ass Fanatics ones.
No, they're like $170. They're because
the Fuse ones, right?
I guess I don't know.
It says Nike Fuse on it. If you look at it, it says it's a heat screen pressed nameplate. I know that means that they iron or heat on like a stitched nameplate, but the rest of it isn't stitched. It doesn't. From the description I saw.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Then what's the difference between the 129 and the 170 ones?
The Nike logo is embroidered, and it would have that pressed-on nameplate as opposed to the peeled lettering that chips off and stuff like that.
Oh, gotcha. Well, I'm famously out of the jersey buying game, so have fun.
Yeah, if you buy a jersey, whoever player that is screwed in the next year. So
I know.
You stay away from those.
I will. I was like, seriously, I really want one of those black ones, a Penne Sewell one in the black.
That's the one I want.
And I'm like, nope. A, I really don't have the money right now, and B, I do not put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
Yeah. I either wanted the Panay one or the Brian Branch, but
nice.
They for some reason have Rodrigo jerseys in the market or in the shop, but not Brian Branch. There were a couple other
Laporta. They had Montgomery, but no Laporta.
No Jack Campbell. Kirby Joseph was there modeling the jerseys tonight, but his jersey wasn't in the shop. Like, all right.
Yeah. Yeah, no, those the blue home jerseys are just like, it takes me back.
Yeah,
it takes me back. Like it's.
Man, I'm so ready for football season.
So you watched the video, right?
Yes.
When they were right before they unveiled the alternates, you saw the neon of bubbles. There was a part of me that was like, hopefully these blue helmets have bubbles on them, because like I like the updated logo, but it'd be cool to get one of like the old bubbles on
the something. 90s logo is still my preferred logo.
Is it really?
It really is.
Okay. See, I like the current one. I think it looks more menacing, but it's yeah.
It looks better now. It looks better on those black uniforms, that's for sure. Like, yeah, I don't know. Their gear for a long time has just been really meh to me.
Sure.
And it feels like with the helmet last year and doing the blueberries more the last couple of years, and now this, like, maybe I'll start to like the new logo more.
Yeah, they've gone through a period here. about 20-year period where they've just made the uniforms worse at every step. It started where they had they just took the old, basically what they went back to, and they just added black trim to all of it. The Joey Harrington era. And those black jerseys did not look half as good as these black jerseys.
No, it's not even close.
And then they switched, the Stafford era ones, and those were okay. But and then these last ones they had that looked like freaking Arena League uniforms or just.
And they got rid of the WCF patch too.
It's on the back of the helmet now.
Oh, fine, whatever. Yeah. But they got it off the jersey.
Right. Yeah, we're not the Bears. Put one for Sheila. That's
MCDC.
Right. So
BFNH.
So did you hear? So apparently, when Dan took the job, he asked about bringing the black jerseys back, and Rod Wood told him, "You win the division.
You get the black jerseys back.
We'll bring the black jerseys back." So, yeah.
Did you see? Dan walked out like in a WWE type entrance.
No.
To a Metallica song.
Of course he did. I bet it was No Leaf Clover too.
I don't remember off the top of my head.
I'll have to look. No, I have to get either a mini. I might just get a full size. I need to get one of those blue helmets.
The blue ones.
Yes.
They're
I'm obsessed with those blue helmets. Those are they're beautiful.
I play with on Madden. I play with them on Madden every game.
I know, but like I said, these ones are even better than those ones.
Yeah.
And like I said, I liked the ones from last year with the old logo on them, the old logo on them. But the black logo and the black stripes and the God,
it's gonna be awesome.
Can't wait to see those on the field. Those got to be like prime time, right?
Oh yeah.
Those are the prime time unis.
Oh my God! I just thought they could start doing blackout nights at Ford Field because they started doing the thing last year where we had the wristbands for Monday night. You turn all the lights down, all of it. Jared Goff, and then they come out in the all blacks with those wristbands lighting the place up. Blackouts at Ford Field, dude, that'd be killer.
Yeah. God, I can't wait for the season.
Man, not to bring the vibes down, but the other day I was talking to Holly, and I'm like, I think I want to rewatch the NFC title game because I can't bring myself to watch it. I got through the first drive where J-Mo scores, and I was like, I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready to hurt like that again. Okay, that was a great play. Can't wait to see it next year. I can't watch this yet. I'm so ready for them to get back on the field and just start kicking ass again.
Yep.
And this time next week we'll have an idea of who the first rounder is.
Maybe. What time is it? 10 to... Oh, no. We probably got at least another hour. But yeah, I know what you mean.
Brad's trading up. He's going to get a guy.
If he doesn't trade out.
I know. He kind of... that presser yesterday or today was it where he was like, I hope the fans will forgive us if we do trade out of the first round. I'm like, that sounds like a guy who wants to trade out of the first round because he keeps talking about how much, there's a lot more talent in this draft than last year near the top. And it's like he's gassing the league up because he wants to get out.
I mean, I'm not going, so it wouldn't matter to me. I understand why people would be upset, but like when it comes like you can criticize his free agency and whatever, but like as far as his drafts go, like I don't like at this point, like you just got to be like, okay.
That and that's it. Like, and he hasn't hit on every one of his picks. We've talked about it,
No,
but
but
like, if he, I trust that if they're like, we don't see anybody at this spot that's going to help us, where we get a guy that we like, who's one of our type of guys, and he's going to help us, and we can't wait a few picks to get him. I'm fine with him being like, no, we're gonna move on. We'll get a second rounder or a third rounder, or get something for next year and trade back a bit.
yeah, I think it's more like, we like these guys, but we either think A, we can get them later, or B, someone comparable we can get later. Like,
Right.
I think that's what it'll be. If there's someone, like I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that they trade up at all, because obviously he's done that. But yeah, if he doesn't, whatever. And it all depends on how the board falls too. So
Right. Right. One of the interesting, I don't know if you caught Lenny a couple weeks ago, but that Brock Bowers is falling down draft boards.
he was.
And
I think now he's kind of leveled out, and a lot of people think that the Jets will take him at 10.
maybe, but if Bowers gets into the middle teens of, it's no secret they want to go get another receiving option. That kid is about as ready as he's gonna be to be in the NFL. Like, you can't ask for a guy coming out of college to be much more polished. Like, he's obviously gonna have to learn some things. Look, man, everyone knows Jared isn't great at throwing the ball super deep downfield. You give him a tight end weapon set of Sam Laporta and Brock Bowers, man. Remember when Brady was eating up the league with Gronk and Hernandez? And that's you're talking about 12 personnel, and then you get to put Jahmyr Gibbs back there, so the defense can overload one side of the field. It just, man, I don't hate the idea. I know everyone wants defense, but if they're like, hey, there's no defenders here that are going to help us, that are our type of guys, but we can go upgrade this offense, keep adding to it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if they can, great. I'd rather, if they go offense, I'd rather have an actual outside wide receiver. But not necessarily even a burner, just someone who can run the, like, basically they need to find someone to replace Josh Reynolds with. And maybe that's DPJ, but probably not.
It could be Bowers though too. You know what? Like, I forget where I saw this, but someone pointed out, like, why did people think that Sam Laporta can't fill that role? Like, obviously he's not going to be Josh Reynolds as agile and quick, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when they split him out wide last season, it's not like he was useless out there. It's not like they were sending Brock Wright out there,
right?
And that's not a shot at Brock, but that's not his game. So like, I keep hearing the oh, we got to replace Josh, and I don't know that you absolutely have to. You just have to look to replace his contributions in other places.
Yes and no. I just don't feel great going into next season with a receiver room of Sun God, JMO, and then what?
I mean, Khalif Raymond's coming back.
Sure, but he's just like mini St. Brown.
That's not a bad thing. And like I said, you got Laporta. Laporta is as valuable a weapon at tight end as anybody in the league right now. Gibbs is gonna continue to develop. They used him a lot last year, and they even used Montgomery a little bit in the screen game. Like, there's only so many places the ball can go. So like, I'm not overly concerned if the glaring weakness on the offense is they're only going to get 75% of what they got out of Josh Reynolds this season, because I think they're going to make it up in other places. J-Mo's going to have a bigger year, which, you know, if he was going to have a bigger year anyway, it means targets and yards and all that were going to come away from somebody. It was probably going to be Josh Reynolds.
Right.
Like, Josh is an outstanding, part of the last couple of years, and he's clearly a safety blanket for Goff. But like, they can find a way to they can find someone to fill that role.
Yeah. No, I'm sure they can. I don't know. There's something. I'd feel better if they had one more guy, but we'll see.
I also wouldn't hate if they took if they found a tackle that, or excuse me, or a guard that they really like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you got to start looking to the future too. You got to start
right
rebuilding on the fly as you're still trying to win a Super Bowl. So.
Yep.
All right. I'm assuming we probably won't do a show next week because of the draft.
Who gives a shit about what McAfee has to say? Let's do our own draft night coverage.
I want to see how long it takes Bill Belichick to be completely over their bullshit.
Probably about 8 minutes. Did you see the clip of Julian Edelman on his show from like not a long time ago, but like before what happened this week, where he's like, I got to get Bill on this show, man. He's like, if he does fucking McAfee before me, I'm going to be furious with Bill. He's like, what, all those years of you yelling at me wasn't worth it? And then, boom.
Yeah. Yep. So, I'll be...
Suck on that handle nut.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we'll do a show. Maybe we won't. Depends on what happens this week. If nothing major happens, we'll just watch the draft. We'll take a week off. But yeah,
sounds
good. All right. Well, until then, we will return either next week or the week after. If it's the week after, we'll have all our reactions to the WWE draft and who all went where and what could come from all that. So that'll be fun. So whenever it is, we'll see you when we see you. Cheers, everybody.